Wow. I wasn't expecting today to be the way I found out that Venom surpassed Wonder Woman today in the worldwide box office. And not how I wanted to start my podcast today. So, good evening, everybody. This is late for the party, and welcome to another exciting episode. Wow. This is going to be an In My Mind segment because not only in a word around the campfire, well, even though this is actually true, that Wonder Woman lost, because Wonder Woman has been beaten by Venom in the worldwide box office. Venom made $822 million, while Wonder Woman made $821 million. Which is odd because, honestly, on the humble, watching both films and saying that Wonder Woman is definitely one of my favorite DC films thus far, next to, Dark Knight. Wonder Woman has done a very good, DC has, it's dope. Honestly, if anybody who hasn't seen Wonder Woman, I implore you guys to actually watch it. It's actually good. But then here comes Venom, which is ultimately a train wreck within itself. And honestly, I say it's a train wreck because not only that, how can you do a film about a character that was solely created by, not by none other than Spider-Man himself? Without Venom, there wouldn't be a Spider-Man. Without Spider-Man, there wouldn't be a Venom. And honestly, Sony, I don't know, they must have prayed to the movie gods or something, because they must have made a sacrifice, a move, an exorcism, the whole shabam bam, to get this thing going, because on paper it sounds like crap. When you actually say to a fan like me, to where there's gonna be a Venom movie, the first thing in my mind was saying, is Spider-Man gonna be in it? How is this gonna happen? And they made it happen. But in hindsight, it feels watching Venom, it felt like another movie that I just recently watched called Upgrade, which you should also watch as well. Other than the alien symbiote aspect of it, but it has that same dynamic with, a guy gets connected to another life form. This life form is helping him become more enhanced and everything else. And it's even talking to him, and he's like, oh my god, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. And you're doing stuff so automatic to where you don't even know what the hell's going on. So either way, dude, I'm not gonna say that Venom was the worst film ever, which honestly it really isn't, but it still was a train wreck. But the train wreck, it's almost like the train crashed, and the train is so mangled, and it's missing a wheel and all of that stuff. This train is moving on so much, with all the damage that's going on with it, that could have, it's almost like it's being deflected, it's moving with the utmost traction. And keep in mind, this was this film came out in October. It came out days before my birthday. So it trips me out to even think that Venom is doing so well for itself. We're already about to be in the end of November, and it already made $822 million in the worldwide box office, beating Wonder Woman. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, it's a Marvel movie. Of course it's going to. But you got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, it is associated with Marvel, but it's not an MCU title. It's not Marvel Studios. It isn't. It is associated with Marvel, like X-Men. They're associated with Marvel. Daredevil, they were associated with Marvel. Elektra, all of them. They were Ghost Rider. Those were associated with Marvel. They weren't exactly MCU titles. Like, even with the Incredible Hulk, the one with Edward Norton, technically that wasn't even an MCU title as well. When you think about it, it just had, I guess it was in its infancy to where, like, it could be associated with the MCU. I mean, they pretty much got Robert Downey Jr. to do a guest spot. All the hardware and the technology that was in the Incredible Hulk, had the Stark tag on it. So, I mean, talking about super soldier serums and everything, but we're talking about at the time, like, Marvel didn't really have an idea until they got to probably like the second phase, until they got done with Avengers, to see how it would have actually operated with everybody under one roof. So, but with Venom, I mean, and let's just be perfectly fair about Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was no pushover, okay? Like I said, Wonder Woman is definitely one of the best films in the DCEU right now, okay? Even now, it's still one of the best films there. I mean, and it's sad because the last film that was actually good out of that was The Dark Knight. I enjoyed The Man of Steel, but even with that, there was still a lot of holes and everything else in it. I mean, you know what? And honestly, The Man of Steel wasn't even really that bad. There was just a lot of things that was questionable. But even with that, there was a lot of things questionable with Venom. And I hope everybody saw it. I mean, but it was just like how it all came out, how it all turned out. Honestly, it still baffles me how it all worked out. And it's working out for it very well. I mean, I'm not even going to sit here and cry about it, because honestly, it was an okay movie. I gave it a quick fire review. It wasn't like my favorite film, but it was enjoyable. I mean, it was a train wreck, but it was still an enjoyable train wreck. Freaking Tom Hardy did a very good job. You know what? It kind of reminds me of The Dark Tower as well. Like Idris Elba played so well as the gunslinger, and I was giving it props. I should have gave it a quick fire review. I'll probably do it later on, but everybody gave it a bad review and everything else. But it's just probably how it was written for the character. And I mean, even being a dope actor like Tom Hardy or Idris Elba, you could only do so much if how it's being written for you, how the writers are writing the script. And you can do the best acting that you could do for the film. I mean, it all depends, like, if it could hold on long enough to where it's doing very well for itself. I mean, look at it. Like, I didn't think Venom would have surpassed Pacific Rim 2. I didn't think Venom would have surpassed Wonder Woman. I didn't even think Venom would have surpassed... I didn't even think it was going to surpass Justice League. But honestly, it really did. I mean, I don't know. Did it? I got to do some research did it pass Deadpool 2. I mean, even with the decision of making Venom PG-13 rather than a hard R, I mean, Sony made this was a gamble. This movie was a serious gamble. And they struck gold on this. I mean, Sony, they needed a win. I mean, after getting hacked, after that one movie with James Franco and Seth Rogen, when China got pissed off about it, they pretty much had to that movie didn't even make it to the movie theater. It went directly to a freaking Netflix after that. I mean, that's a trip, man. And Sony needed a fucking win. They needed a win, and they got it. And they deserve it, honestly. To where, yeah, most likely there's gonna be it's written in stone that there's gonna be a Venom 2. And I mean, we already saw, for those who've seen it, who hasn't seen it, I'm gonna get into some spoilers, so fuck it, I don't care. You know, Woody Harrelson was at the end of the film, and he was Cletus Cassidy. For those who know about Cletus Cassidy, he becomes Carnage. So that's gonna be a trip, dude. Like, they already got that going to where they're already looking into Carnage and everything. So, I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't know how all this is gonna pan out. I'm excited. I can't wait to see how it turns out. I mean, I was wrong. I'm admitting, saying, like, I didn't even think Venom was gonna be, I mean, because when you saw the trailers, the first trailer, it was very vague, and you didn't know what the hell it was all about. And then you actually seen the second trailer to where you actually see Venom and what he looks like. And you hear the voice. And I mean, it was a train wreck. And I mean, even with that, like, damn. I mean, I'm still saying it like, well, it was a train wreck, but it was an enjoyable train wreck. But I didn't think this train wreck would make the money that it's actually making right now. Damn, what else am I wrong about? I mean, hell, Bumblebee's even starting to trip me out. And that's going to be the next segment. So, either way, you guys, I'm going to talk a little bit more about this too, because this is going to be a continuation, because I'm going to do the next segment about, like, the other films that I didn't get a chance to talk about, like Shazam, Bumblebee, and seeing all the new trailers that came out for both of those. So either way, I'm going to get into that a little bit later, but I will hit you guys up. So this is an In My Mind segment on Late for the Party. I am your host, and as always, you guys, it's okay to be late for the party, but just keep that party going. I'm just gonna let the music ride out just a little bit. So, sorry about that. Damn phone. You know, fuck it. I don't care. Shit. Come on, turn off. Turn off. Alright, cool. Alright, 14 minutes. We're good.